Without a question, the import and export of goods are critical to the survival of nations' economies, Nigeria's too. The seamless execution of these economic activities depends on the actions of different agents who are involved in the transportation of goods from one destination to another. While the roles of some agents are obvious, others are not so obvious. For instance, freight forwarders are very important in the transport value chain, both locally and internationally. Today on The Shipper, we shall give you a crash course on the role of freight forwarders. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of your favorite maritime program, The Shipper. I am Rekia Zikru Yagoyaju. Stay tuned. The program will return shortly.
Nigerian shippers cancel day to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council they feel in a parole now for every level, and as soon as goods they move from port A go enter port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem where shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
For you, we dey gidigba,
Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nanir.
What is freight forwarding? What are the functions of freight forwarders? And what are the challenges they face in the course of conducting their businesses? These are the questions our correspondents Adeshino Abiodun and Adeyemi Olaolu put to some stakeholders in the sector.
Freight forwarder is someone who clears cargo from the port. Well, we sometimes call them agents. They're clearing agents.
They are the clearing agent now. They clear goods at the seaport, even in NACO. They clear goods and deliver to the importer.
The freight forwarders are the agents who usually have assisted people that maybe they want to import some goods or export some goods abroad or import some goods from abroad. So the freight forwarders, they are agents who are the intermediary between the customs and the consignee.
A freight forwarder is that person or that company, that individual, who is trained to carry out the movement of cargo from point A to point B, observing all the formalities like customs, brokerage, insurance, banks, and to get that goods to the owner's warehouse in good condition and at a competitive cost. So in other words, the service covers from the point that goods or that product is manufactured, either dig out from the farm or manufactured in the warehouse, to the time, including packaging, there are works of freight forwarders. By the time the goods were packaged and loaded to a truck, maybe a tramp, for inward transmission to either to container where the goods will be stuffed, loaded on a truck or on a train, and taken to the seaport where the container is eventually put on board vessel. Until it gets to the destination port, you observe the formalities, which here in local parlance we call clearing and forwarding. Clearing. You bring it out and then take it to the owner's warehouse. Observing the roads, including the insurance, that is the work of a freight forwarder.
The freight forwarders has very much value to give than to take. Because when you talk of federal government realizing 1.something trillion revenue per year during the customs review or customs push in regards to showcasing what actually they have made for the year, it's the freight forwarder that makes this money. Customs are there on their seats. freight forwarders goes here, there, and make this money.
Yes, freight forwarding is a very interesting business, but quite unfortunate that we are having a lot of challenges in Apapa right now, and that is giving us a lot of setback. And the challenges are, one, the shipping companies. They are one of their major challenges. If containers are coming in, they are the one who will stop job without notice. They will not notify anybody. They say they are on break. At times, no, not even, they will just stop work like that.
As in every profession, freight forwarders face different challenges in the course of their business. Different strategies are involved when organizing for shipments to get from one point to the other. No two shipments are alike. Take a minute to think about the fact that millions of shipment transactions take place every hour. Lucy Ulugbe now presents an in-depth analysis on freight forwarding.
Freight forwarding is essential in ensuring that the supply chain process around the world, including Nigeria, is unbroken. Freight forwarders are responsible for planning and coordinating the movement of goods across borders. Goods transported by rail, road, sea, or air must be handled by freight forwarders. At least 3 parties are involved in triangular operations of the transportation of goods generally. The parties include the manufacturer, the intermediary who is the freight forwarder, and the final customer. The freight forwarding process involves at least 6 stages. Export haulage, which is the transfer of goods from the original source to the freight forwarder's warehouse. Export customs clearance, which involves getting clearance for the goods to leave their country of origin. Origin handling, which is basically the unloading, inspection, and validation of the cargo against its booking documents. Import customs clearance. This is the inspection of the cargo's customs paperwork by the authorities. Destination handling. This is the handling of cargo once it reaches the destination office, including transfer to the import warehouse. And finally, import haulage. Import haulage is the transfer of cargo from the import warehouse to its final destination. Officially, freight forwarding in Nigeria has its origin in the exports of groundnut as a cash crop in 1914. Freight forwarders require licenses and permits from government agencies to operate. For instance, the Nigeria Customs Service issues the prospective freight forwarder with a customs agent license, while the Nigerian Ports Authority issues to the freight forwarder a license to operate as a clearing and forwarding agent. Depending on the freight forwarder's scope of operation, he or she may require other licenses for excise, bonded warehouse, and other specialized operations. As part of efforts to increase efficiency and transparency in trading, the federal government of Nigeria created the Council for Freight Forwarders in Nigeria, CRFFN. The CRFFN Act No. 16, 2007 was enacted into law on the 30th of April 2007. The Council is charged with, amongst others, regulating and controlling the practice of freight forwarding in Nigeria and promoting the highest standards of competence, practice, and conduct among members of the profession. It is also empowered to provide operating licenses to freight forwarders. To gain more insight into the state of freight forwarding in Nigeria, the shipper sat down with experts who detailed the roles of freight forwarders, the challenges they face, and how they contribute to Nigeria's economy. Speaking with the shipper in an interview, the national president of the National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF, Increase Uche, described a freight forwarder as a person strategically placed to take control of the movement of goods from the point of origin to the destination. He stated that 4 bills of rights guide the operation of a freight forwarder.
In any economy, we are the barometer to ascertain the economic activities in that very particular location. But once the freight forwarder is not well positioned, like part of the challenges we have been facing, not being, having a lot of space to operate and the recognition that is required. The custom clearance is part of the traditional role of a freight forwarder right from time before we metamorphose to freight forwarding. You understand? So in some countries today, they are still using issue of clearing and forwarding and all that, but internationally acceptable name is that freight forwarding.
Mr. Uche also advised his fellow freight forwarders to stay away from any fraudulent act, trade malpractices, and comply with trade rules, make honest declarations, and expand their knowledge base.
Most times in Nigeria here, the freight forwarders act as principal to the shipper. You may be contracted to, kind of carry out the total responsibility of cargo movement from the seaport to the owner's warehouse. You provide the fund, you transport the cargo to the warehouse, you pay all the charges and all that. In fact, the freight forwarders, companies at times being used by the shipper to even make the import. So these are the unlimited liabilities that freight forwarders face, most of the challenges.
Also speaking with the shipper, President of the Africa Association of Professional Freight Forwarders and Logistics of Nigeria, APFLON, Frank Ogunojemite, gave an elaborate insight into freight forwarding in Nigeria. According to Mr. Ogunojemite, the business of freight forwarders starts and ends in the clearance of goods at the nation's seaports, airports, and inland dry ports.
How do you know where it started? It started for the point of origin when the consignment has been handed over to a freight forwarder. That's where it started. You understand? And as a matter of fact, it can even go beyond that. Assuming it's okay now, particularly companies or a government or a company giving a job that, okay, sort the product for us. So you can even do procurement. You can even do a quality control. You see, there's what we call FOB and S work. In most cases, when you're giving a consignment on S work, that means you are receiving the consignment from manufacturers. And when you are receiving consignment from manufacturer, there's a document involved. What a document involved for a professional freight forwarders? You need to do a quality check. What I mean by a quality check is that, if assuming you give me a product that will involve, definitely it's going to involve sun, right? And I have to check that, okay, this product you give to me, for me to show that this product is of good quality, I will do a quality check. In China, we call it CIS. You get that certificate, I have to be responsible for that.
In an exclusive interview with the shipper, Dr. Ademola Iriemi, a lecturer in the Faculty of Transport Management, described freight forwarding as a knowledge-driven business. He noted that a prospective freight forwarder must enroll in accredited freight forwarding institutions to gain the necessary knowledge for smooth operations.
The freight forwarder must be grounded. And all of those things will come in the place of his or her quest for knowledge. Because without knowledge and skill, the place of capability and competence, success becomes a mirage. So those who are succeeding today in the freight forwarding industry, they are people who have taken to these steps. They get themselves, associated with professional bodies where they build, they upgrade in their professional knowledge, and that in itself will impact on their works. So Nigerian freight forwarders, I will use this opportunity to tell them to be open to learn. Don't assume you have known it all. Learning should be on the continuum. And when you have such attitude, you'll be very outstanding as a freight forwarder.
Dr. Iriemi also stated that freight forwarding creates employment opportunities. According to him, freight forwarders contribute to the nation's economy through payment of levies.
Freight forwarding business is an integral part of international trade. Integral part of international trade. And by implication, nations are trading with Nigeria. They are not spirits that are trading with each other. individuals interfaces with each other. Relationships are developed over time. Okay? No wonder even Nigeria goes into bilateral, multilateral relations. And this is based on the trade engagements between Nigeria and other nations. See, with the presence of freight forwarding in Nigeria, industries are developed because they are involved in moving raw materials from countries of origin to countries of destination. They are doing a lot. And so government needs to take a second look at the freight forwarding business. I can tell you that business is playing a critical role in developing the nation's economy.
Now, that was a beginner's guide to freight forwarding. I hope you were able to imbibe one or two lessons from that. As Nigeria's port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council continues to monitor developments in freight forwarding with a view to professionalizing the industry to ensure that players have a healthy environment to thrive and positively contribute to the nation's economy. It's now time to bring on Oluwasegun Aloko, who has been standing by to update us on the latest developments in the global maritime industry.
Hello and welcome to the Tidbit segment on the premier maritime program on television, The Shipper. Oluwasegun Aloko is my name. The Nigerian Shippers Council has pledged to support the emergence of an effective maritime system in Niger State. Zonal Director, Nsc North Central Zone, Mrs. Ife Okolwe, made the pledge at the inauguration of the new executives of the Niger State chapter of Shippers Association in Minna. Okolwe appealed to stakeholders to support the new ESCO by making suggestions that would improve international trade and contribute to the socio-economic development of the state. Nigerian Shippers Council continues to urge service providers such as terminal operators, barge operators, shipping companies, freight forwarders, and clearing agents, amongst others, to register with the Council. Failure to do so will attract penalties. Registration can be done online via the website www.shipperstradedata.gov.ng. And here is our complaint register for the week. A total number of 6 complaints were received. 1 has been resolved, and 5 are ongoing investigations. Some of these complaints include excessive customs duty, unjustifiable demurrage charge, arbitrary charges, container deposit refund, and service delays. Be assured that whatever the nature of your complaint, the Nigerian Shippers Council has an effective complaint handling mechanism for arriving at a fair resolution. Here is a letter from Mr. Nwoke Obina of Tiger Schemes Connect Limited, appreciating the Council for resolving its company's complaint. We, the above-named company, wishes to express our sincere appreciation to Mr. Buba Danjuma and Complaints Unit Team of Nigerian Shippers Council for resolving the issues between Tiger Schemes Connect, Zenith Shipping Bonded Terminal, and Grimadi Agency. Sometimes in December, we brought a complaint against Grimadi and Zenith Shipping. We remain grateful to Nigerian Shippers Council and its Complaints Unit Team. Thanks and God bless you. Up next, happenings in the global maritime industry. Stay tuned. Regional Container Lines, RCA, has revamped its Lam Chabang Ho Chi Minh City, Manila North service to cover China and Korea, along with partner Ocean Network Express. The existing service is being extended to Busan, Qingdao, and Shanghai, in addition to the current rotation. 4 2,500 TEU vessels are being deployed on the service with RCL contributing one vessel the current year. According to RCL spokesperson, the new service will offer the best industry transit time of just 6 days between Shanghai and Lamchabang. In addition, the transit times between Busan and Lamchabang will be amongst the best at just 6 days as well. Remarkably, DP World Custodial has completed its $114 million expansion, allowing it to receive the biggest vessel ever to dock in the Dominican Republic, the 12,990 TEU MSC Katrina, which connects Europe with the Caribbean, South America, and the Pacific. The expansion raised capacity of the terminal to 2.5 million TEU. The terminal currently has 5 Super Post-Panamax gantry cranes and 32 rubber-tired gantry cranes. DP World Custodial is aiming to contribute to the country's plans to become the main logistics hub in the Caribbean region. What's more, APM Terminals, APMT, Medport Tangier, in Morocco, is kicking off phase 2 of development that will add an extra capacity of 1 million TEU. During phase 1, the terminal operated with a 1,200-meter long quay. In phase 2, it will add 400 meters, increasing the total quay length to 1,600 meters. This is an additional throughput capacity of 1 million containers to reach the previously announced overall capacity of 5 million TEU. This new investment is an important milestone in both Morocco and Mars long-term partnership and confirms APMT's commitment to establishing a major transshipment hub in the Mediterranean. And that's it on this week's tidbit.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
And that's all we can take on today's episode of The Shipper, brought to you by the Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator. Remember to register as full regulated service providers. Failure to do so will attract penalty. Registration can be done online at www.shipperstradedata.gov.ng. Thank you for watching. Join us next week for another edifying episode of the program. Goodbye.